Now, if you're still using LSAT prep methods from even 3 years ago, you're training for a version of the test that no longer exists. Now, the hidden cost of all these changes is that everything now requires more mental stamina. The test feels longer, not because there are more questions, but because each one now requires more cognitive effort. You'll need more time per question. There's more logic in each paragraph, and you need more endurance across the section. You can't just wing it on those last few questions anymore. They're often harder than the first ones. So you've got to drill logic-heavy questions back to back. You've got to practice full sections, not just questions in isolation, and you've got to learn to spot when you're mentally fading and find a way to reset. Because this is not just about getting better at logical reasoning. It's about learning how to unpack formal logic hidden in complexity, under pressure, and with unfamiliar topics and layered rules. That's what the August LSAT and every future LSAT is starting to look like. And the students who learn to adapt, they're the ones who walk in and feel like the test is easier than expected while everyone else panics. Now, if you're still using LSAT prep methods from even 3 years ago, you're training for a version of the test that no longer exists. A lot of students are doing what used to work. They're reading one prep book cover to cover, they're memorizing strategies without applying them, they're grinding logic games every day, even though logic games aren't even on the test anymore, and they're skipping the formal logic-heavy questions because they're too confusing. Now, that plan might have been fine when logical reasoning was easier, but now that same study plan is going to leave you exposed because the LSAT has evolved and your prep has to evolve too. The LSAT now rewards depth over breadth. It is not about doing 3,000 questions. It's about deeply understanding how 100 of them really work, especially these new logic-heavy ones. So don't just study harder, study smarter. Study for the actual test you're going to see. Update your prep materials, update your drills, and update your strategies. The shift is not going away, but if you lean into it, you're going to separate yourself from the vast majority of students who are still prepping like it's 2018.